he could find a good place to tuck in, like right here, if he could find a hole, get somebody in front of him, take some of that wind off the front of the car where he has the damage, he can keep up with this group.
Casey Kane getting a little loose, trying to keep from running up on him. In that second line now on the high line, Stephen Wallace takes over the point, and boy, that line doesn't seem to be able to push very fast, very far.
I see the Keselowski's running together, Brian and Brad.
When's the last time you saw Brian in front of Brad?
He's liking this.
And that's no slam against
Brian. Come on, give me a shove here. Let's go.
Man, Brad saying,
come on, dude.
See you, brother.
Don't hang me out.
Bye-bye, bro. If you can't count on your brother out here, who can you count on?
That just proves it right there. You'd hang your brother to win a race, wouldn't you?
Yeah, pretty much. Unfortunately, Brian is really hung out now by everybody, and he's backing up. There is Menard as he has dropped back a few spots. Let's get an update on his car, Dave.
And just think how the weekend's gone for Paul. With the rain out on Friday, his team had to do some negotiations to even find him a spot in today's race. Then in the second caution, he's involved and they're fixing damage. You can see the tape on that yellow car that they fixed. The rest of the day, fairly quiet, and they pitted for fuel on lap 93, which means they'll be good to go at the end if we get 1 or 2 or maybe 3 attempts at a green, white checker finish.
Tell you what, Kevin Harvick's not out of this race by no means. His car looks really fast right here. He's just looking for an opportunity.
Yeah, he has moved back up into the 6th position. Right in front of him is Casey Kane. Still in front, though, is Tony Stewart. He is the man to beat right now.
Yeah, another driver that I see up there is the 20 car, Joey Logano. If he can get a little bit of help, he might have something to say if Tony Stewart's going to win this race or not.
How about Kyle Busch? He's up to 10th, guys. Remember, he got the lucky dog, and he comes back, and I mean, they worked on this thing as soon as the red flag was lifted. He's backing up a little bit there as he drifts up, but still.
Oh, the right front of this car was destroyed. And for them to get it fixed, to get that lap back, and to now be contending for just a top 10 spot's a miracle.
Well, he dropped back to 12th as he got high on the track. Now he's back in line. Next time by, we'll have 16 laps to go. Let's get an update on Kyle Busch. Dave, what's going on?
The worst part of the damage for them was that the toe was out on that car, and it wouldn't track straight down the track. So they worked on that really, really hard. And Kyle just came on the radio and he says, I might have a tire down. But DJ, when that car's been worked out as much as it has, and when it's as out of sync as it is, you feel a lot of things under there, don't you?
Yeah, you really do. And even though they might got the toe back, something's bent there to create that situation. So you're going to get a lot of different feels. Yeah, he's probably just going to try to hang on here and get the most that he can out of it.
Yeah, with that damage, and especially the sheet metal damage up there on the right front, he's likely got some kind of rub, and that, you don't want that thing to blow out, that right front tire to blow out.
Well, the other thing we're seeing is some of that tape is starting to come off and get loose, which means air's getting in underneath, and that's not good for the car either. Don't forget, we've got right after our race, Sports Center, special edition from right here at Daytona. Alan Bestwick getting ready to bring you all the latest news on what's going to happen tomorrow. And look at this action out on the track, nose to tail. It is getting very good.
Okay, we're 15 laps to go, Dale. I mean, what do you want to do? What position you want to be in at this point?
I like where Justin Allgaier's sitting right now, to be quite honest with you, but I see him getting really racy here. Some guys getting antsy, wanting to improve their position right now. I'm not sure that we've seen our last caution.
Now remember, Allgaier's never won a Nationwide Series race. He is the Rookie of the Year from last year.
That Harvick just jumped out of lineup on the outside now, looking for another spot.
He's going to need some help, or it's going to cost him.
It's on the outside of Casey Kane. If he can get some help from behind.
Now, I said that about Allgaier. Now, give me Tony Stewart out front about any time, but I'm saying if anybody's going to try to make a pass, I like where Allgaier's sitting.
Harvick gets the help from Brad Keselowski. Will it be enough?
Well, Harvick had to do something. He knew he couldn't win the race from the position he was in. He's got to move up in this line. He
cannot get past the 38 of Kane. Now he's in trouble. He's got another car coming up underneath him there, and they may get shuffled back even further. That was Menard in the 98.
Yeah, the problem he's going to have is his own car is pulling this group so fast, it's going to make it tough to go on that outside line and make a pass.
And you got some of these cars running behind Tony Stewart that are pretty satisfied to be in the position they're in. They're not going to pull out and get racy now where these cars can catch back up.
This time by 13 laps to go. Harvick still on that high side. Keselowski right behind him, trying to get some more help from Annette, who's third in that line.
Well, I saw Logano give just a little bit of an opening. You got to be careful, especially through that tri-oval, that you don't give somebody that opening. Brian Vickers had a notion to stick his nose in there, try to take that spot away on the inside.
Well, take a look at some of these shots we're seeing. I've never seen so much tape on the front of race cars at Daytona in my life. You see this maybe at Martinsville, but they all look like short track cars banged up out there.
And we hope that doesn't happen. Want to stay lean, mean, and green, but we mentioned it once before. 9 of the last 10, we've had a caution in the last 10 laps. It's because we get very racy, very racy.
You can see Harvick make a little more ground there whenever Brad Keselowski was able to stay right on his bumper, but once he moved back away from him a little bit, he kind of stalled out.
But Harvick's waiting on the cars up front behind Tony Stewart to get antsy. Now move out of line. Pull up in front of him here.
What is going through Justin Allgaier's mind? Here he sits in second place. 12 laps remaining from potentially his first win, and the first win for Dodge since 2007.
I'm hoping they didn't tell him anything about that tire that we saw a while ago.
Vince, what's the latest?
I'll tell you what, it's been an amazing run, and if Allgaier should happen to win this race, he'll have his crew to thank for it. They had damage on their race car before their very first pit stop of the day. At one point, they had to replace a damaged fitting on the valve cover. This crew has earned their position today, and Allgaier has driven the wheels off of it. They told him just a moment ago, you're in a perfect place. Snug up to that bumper. We'll see.
Well, remember, we told you at the beginning of this race, Cup regulars have won all but 4 of the races here. Chad Little won once. Randy LaJoie, a nationwide regular, won it 3 times. And right now, Justin Allgaier could join an exclusive club as he sits in second place. But, man, I'm telling you, he's got a big task. That guy in that number 4 has been awfully strong.
Yeah, 4 is going to become about 30 feet wide here whenever it gets down time that we've seen guys in the past here try to pass Tony Stewart on the last lap. We saw Kyle Busch try to push him down to Daytona Beach, and it still didn't work last week. Last year.
Harvick still on that high side, and boy,
he's not going to give up.
Keselowski, he got loose coming out of 4 on that one himself. He really doesn't have any choice, but they just can't get enough. We just got word from NASCAR officials. Greg Biffle has been given the black flag as he has got water coming out from underneath the car. So obviously he's got radiator problems. So end of the day for Biffle, who looked very good early in this race until he too got into one of the actions, the last big one. Next time by, 9 laps remaining. We keep an eye on Harvick and Brad Keselowski because they keep pushing on that outside, but they cannot make any ground. And look at Stewart now starting to open up a little ground over second place.
That could actually help the car behind.
Whoa,
See,
look
now
out.
we got some momentum shifts.
Logano.
I'm not
gave
sure
him
that's going to work, though.
Here comes Vickers tucking up. Whoa, and he gets
really
into
loose.
Allgaier.
Casey Kane had to get out of the throttle. He got bumped from behind.
This is helping Harvick, just like you said.
Allgaier showing me a lot, guys. He's saved this car twice so far.
This is exactly what Kevin Harvick's looking for, is for things to get racy up front.
Vickers
comes Menard on the
is
inside.
in the middle. Here comes Menard on the inside. Right behind him, the 60 of Carl Edwards. But Allgaier stays in second. Logano way on the high side. He may get shuffled back.
Look at Harvick thread the middle.
Harvick's now hooked up with Vickers in the middle. 3 wide coming out of the corner. Oh, look out. That was Kane getting loose. Now we've got 8 laps remaining. Oh, and Kane gets loose again.
Yeah, that car's been a handful all day for Casey Kane. He's got himself in the worst position you could be with a bad handling car, right in the middle.
Harvick.
Oh, look at him slide up the hill.
Oh,
still sideways.
Harvick and Vickers still hooked up, but not getting any help. And look at the 18 of Kyle Busch coming up underneath.
Unbelievable.
That is anything but aerodynamically clean. And here comes Harvick giving him help.